Hey YouTube, it's Dawn again and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title of this video, it's quite controversial. I will also warn you it's going to be quite a long video, but it's an interesting topic that I wanted to kind of express my thoughts on this topic and also hear your thoughts as well. Before I dive into it, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Thank you so much for liking my videos and thank you for commenting. That last video that I posted, being African American in London, that comment section was lit. I'll post a link up here so you guys can go and watch the video, comment, share your opinions and all of that. But I just want to say that's one of the reasons why I make these videos, not only to express myself and share my experiences and all this, but also hear what other people have to say. That helps me grow as a person and helps me expand and, you know, open my mind and learn new things. So I definitely encourage you to keep posting comments, just as long as you're respectful. Obviously, that's the mature thing to do. You guys are passionate and I love it. I'm just like, yeah, I read all the comments. I don't jump in because obviously with the video, I'm sharing my opinion. Whether you agree or disagree with me, it doesn't matter. I still enjoy it nonetheless. So on that note, as a thank you to you guys, I want to do a giveaway. So this will be a first. I want to do like a giveaway when I reach 4,000 subscribers. Now, I don't know when that's going to happen. It could happen a year from now. I don't know. But I want to do a giveaway just to express my appreciation to you guys. If you have any ideas on giveaways, let me know. I am new to this. I don't really know. I've never done one before. Obviously, you guys will have to be subscribed to my channel. It'd be great if you turned on your post notifications so that way you'll be notified when the giveaway is announced and you can enter. So I'm really excited about that. But without further ado, let's get started with this video. Just a quick disclaimer before I dive right in. You know, these are just my opinions and these are just based on my experiences of the many years of life that I've lived. I don't want to offend anyone. That is not my intention. I know that there are other people that probably share my similar thoughts. You know, this whole topic started with me making a flippant remark to one of my friends that I don't really fit into American culture, and they were like, what does that mean? Dive a little bit deeper into that. We gotta unpack that. With all of this downtime that we've had, I've had a lot of time to kind of think about it and ponder about it a little bit. One thing I want to do is pose a question back to you guys. That is, when you think of what American is, what are some of the characteristics that come to mind? So if you could drop them in the comments down below, and I think it'd just be interesting to hear what everyone has to say. And also if you could say where you're from, like what country you're from. There are a ton of positive attributes that come to mind when I think of what it is to be an American. Hardworking, creativity, enthusiasm. Like, we love to get excited and celebrate any and everything. The art of what's possible. Entrepreneurship, that rags to riches story. You can do it. If you believe you can, you can. And those are things that I admire. Those are things that are a part of me as well. You know, my family is here. I was born and raised in America. We are living in quite interesting times right now. There's a lot going on in America that I don't know for you international viewers how much you guys have insight to, but we got a lot. We have a lot. This is not a perfect place. The streets ain't paved in gold, basically. And I think that it's important to bring us back down and have a dialogue and discuss it and share thoughts and all of that. So that is kind of the purpose of this video that I wanted to share with you guys today. So I'll stop rambling and get on with the video, okay? I'm assuming that some of you guys posted in the comments when you think of what American is. Freedom probably came to mind, freedom of speech, freedom of press. But I will have to say, America is a bit hypocritical. I was watching CNN one day. I believe it was Don Lemon. He was expressing his frustration with President Trump's press conferences around this pandemic that we're in. He made the remark, he said, well, I don't understand why we have to cover these press conferences. Why can't we just take out the important bits and then show those to the people? Why do we have to keep showing these? And to be honest, you guys, I was floored. I was like, you really are saying that you want to cut and paste what I, the public, am able to see because you don't like what he says or annoyed by these press conferences? I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand the frustration. However, you're the press. You have an obligation to provide information to the public. Here we are, the press is like, oh, well, we should actually consider showing the people what we think they want to see. Obviously, we know they do that anyway. But for you to get on national television and just say it, I was like, that's bold. That is really bold. When we look at censorship and control of information, and we are so quick to like dog China and North Korea, when we're slowly going in that direction. What is the difference from you saying we have to limit this information that is labeled like a conspiracy or it's not mainstream media versus a country saying we're not going to put out certain information because it goes against national views? It's kind of the same thing. America is all about free speech if your opinion is with the masses. So if you dare have an opinion that's a little bit off the wall, it is completely disregarded. And that's not just in our media. I think that is, just American people in general. They only want to talk about what is right to them. And it has created a lot of division in this country, and I'll get to that in a little bit. I think that's really unfortunate because there's a lot to be learned from people who don't think like you, people who don't live like you live, people who weren't brought up the way you were brought up. It's kind of arrogant to think that you know everything and your way is always right. And I feel like Americans have that air about them, like they can't listen to anyone that has an opposing opinion. It's like they can't be challenged. And when they are met with some type of resistance of what they think, of accepting what they think, it's always met with violence and force and shut down and, name calling and just total disrespect. And maybe that's a bit of human nature, but I have been exposed to other groups and other cultures where there's a bit of respect there. There's a bit of curiosity there. Like, why do you think that? Why did you react that way? What did that mean? That I feel like is lacking in American culture just off the top. But yeah, I feel like the whole freedom of press, freedom of speech is a little hypocritical. If we are so proud of our freedoms, why are we limited access to information? So recently we've had a lot of issues around censorship, even here on YouTube. Yeah, we'll just move right up past that. I need to watch what I say. You guys let me know in the comments, am I missing something here? So another thing I want to touch on in terms of America being very hypocritical is the fact that America will meddle in all different countries' human rights issue, but when it comes to human rights issue at home, it's like a non-issue. I was in Italy one summer and I met a young lady from Singapore. So cool. And we were hanging out at the beach and we were talking, and it was me and another girl that was staying in our hostel, and she was also from America. We were talking about the whole police brutality, and this was a few years ago. She was absolutely shocked what was happening, and her first reaction was, well, that's a human rights issue. Why doesn't the UN get involved? Well, we label it here as a civil rights issue, and it's not kind of looked at as the same as when another country that America deems as underdeveloped, or if God forbid they have resources that we need. It's a different conversation, and it's judged completely differently. to where we can justify going into another country and telling its government how to treat its people, yet we are doing the same thing to American citizens. So another thing that I feel is synonymous with American is the whole idea of individualism, individualistic. And this could be just kind of a Western culture thing where it's more about me instead of community. And maybe it's just a human thing. And this is very apparent with the issue and topic of healthcare, universal healthcare. Comes up every election. It's often rejected, and the whole idea is deemed as socialism. What's happening to us, where is capitalism going, and all of this stuff. And none of us know how we're going to age, how our health is going to be, what unforeseen circumstances that may occur. If that means that I have to pay a little bit more in taxes so that my mom, my grandmother, your grandmother, your grandparents don't have to worry about high medical bills, I would do it. And I'm not rich by any means, but I am a healthy working person, and if that means that's my part to contribute to society, then I would be happy to do so. When I lived in the UK, there was a big chunk of my check coming out every month. I also could go to my GP and not have to worry about a copay. I could go as many times as I wanted and not have to worry about coming home to a medical bill. And no, the system wasn't perfect. No system is. But you have to look at the bigger picture. And sometimes it's about giving a little bit more so that others who aren't as fortunate, yes, there are always going to be people where you feel like, oh, they are lazy, they're not working as hard, they could do better. Yes, that's true. But then you also have a portion of society that is just, it is what it is. There is a wide gap in income, and it takes all in between to make a country work, a society work. Everyone can't be, millionaires making a lot of money. Even as we see now, essential workers, you have doctors who are on the higher end of the pay scale, and then you have people like postal workers or people who are working at grocery stores who are on the lower end. And yeah, their work is, more specialized, but let's think about, like, everybody can't be over here. You have to have some people do work that pays a little bit less. And what's wrong with some of this going over there to offset the balance when it comes to certain things like healthcare? Is it socialism? Call it what you want. I think everybody has a right to healthcare. And until you experience something that is unexpected happening to you or a loved one, I think you'd be more leaning towards that side of the argument. It's, hey, I don't understand it, that's not my experience, therefore I can't get behind it and I can't support it. And you know that worrying about how you're going to fund surgeries or procedures, that only makes the illness worse. No one should have to worry about, hey, can I afford it, when it's life or death, especially if it's on your child. Like, that is like the worst thing ever. One thing, kind of going back to what America is, or being American, it would be a melting pot. Now it's a bunch of baloney. America is not a melting pot. When I think of a melting pot, I think of, you have a pot, you put your spoon in, you lift it up, and I don't know, you can't really tell what it is because all of the food is like meshed all together, and it's a little bit of everything all kind of mixed in together. So what America is, I think it looks more of like a plate. You have some meat here, some vegetables here, a salad here, and it's all nice and neat. Yes, you have variety, but they're not really touching each other, they're not really mixing, and it sure ain't a melting pot. Born and raised in Oklahoma, segregated. I lived in LA for 5 years, segregated, and now I live in Texas, segregated. So tell me where this melting pot is. Maybe parts of New York City, but even then I've been to New York City and it looks segregated as well. So, and I'm not talking about these places where you have a little bit of sprinkles of diversity. That is not a melting pot. That's a little bit of seasoning. Maybe my definition of melting pot is completely wrong. You guys tell me. Again, I want to hear what you guys think. America likes to to portray that it is very welcoming. What is the saying on the Statue of Liberty? Give me your whatever, give me your whatever, give me your whatever. No, that's not true. Some ways to go in terms of really melting people together, and I think there is a way to do that where cultures can be proud of who they are, they can be proud of where they come from, but also be proud of what they can contribute to the overall American culture. You know, I think that is where America would like to think that it is, but it isn't yet. We can get there, but it has to be acknowledged first that we are not there right now. So far, if this topic is interesting to you, please like this video, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and also subscribe. Like I said, I want to do a giveaway, so 4,000 subscribers. The next thing I will say is quite synonymous with American culture is being hardworking, a workaholic. Americans love to work. I don't know what that's about. I don't, because I love a good holiday. I like sometimes doing absolute nothing and letting my mind, my body, and my spirit just rest. That's the best kind of investment. I know people like to go to the spa, get a massage, and sometimes it's like you just need a timeout. That's why I think this time is doing a lot of people some good. What's really going on? Like, why are we such workaholics? And I have some theories behind that. One is, like, we like to distract ourselves from unresolved issues or things that we don't really want to confront, and sometimes working is a way to distract ourselves from that. One of the main things I noticed just working was kind of how you're discouraged from taking days off of work. It's almost seen like you're weak or you're lazy because you want to take your holiday days. That is like so bizarre. Like, hey, if I'm burnt out, how am I going to contribute to this company? I have to be able to recharge at some point. So this kind of goes into how competitive Americans are as well. It breeds about really great businesses, ideas. There's a healthy competitive side, and then there's an unhealthy competitive side. And it's great to want to be the best, but it's also better to want to be the best that you can be. I work in sales, so obviously I'm competitive to a certain extent. I don't want to annihilate my colleagues. They may want to annihilate me, but I think it's healthy. You know, I want to be challenged. I want to be pushed, but they may excel in something that I'm just not good at, and that's okay. And I might excel in something that they may not be good at, but it's pushing me to be the best that I can be, and I can't always compare myself to other people. We always want to be the best. Even our media tells us we're the best country in this world. I mean, you can even look at it when we go to the Olympics. It's like, America got a silver. No, we can't. I know that is part of the Olympics, and every country wants to be the best, but I don't know, the whole competitive thing, I don't know if it's good or bad, but sometimes it just makes me uncomfortable. Following on from that, one of the things that I think of when I hear American is kind of a culture of a throwaway culture. And what I mean by that is Americans are very wasteful. We love spending money on stuff. And yes, I think when you look at a lot of countries as they develop, the middle class becomes larger. Ever since I've moved back, I have noticed I have accumulated so much stuff, you guys. I used to have a rule, one thing in, one thing out. My goodness, my closet has exploded. And so I'm slowly kind of dialing back and getting back to being more of a minimalist. That feels more natural to me, and getting things that only make me really truly happy, and also getting better quality things. I always say it's better to have better quality and less quantity. Even I am guilty of having the gimmies. I don't know if you guys remember that Bear Saying Bears book where it was the gimmies. It was like, give me this, give me that. You see so many things, so many variety of things. And I will also say America has considerably lower costs in a lot of goods than a lot of other countries, and so that also entices you to purchase and purchase more of them. When you compare the prices and you're like, oh, that's really cheap, and then you just look around and you have a room or a house or apartment full of stuff you don't really need. I had to like have a come to Jesus moment and realize, girl, stop. Just stop already. Yeah, we love to accumulate stuff. Like shopping is our therapy, and maybe it's because we don't get to go on vacations in the holidays. Maybe that's why we will shop until we drop. Maybe it is that we are so competitive, we want to keep up with the Joneses, and so therefore we have to look good in order to try to feel good, but then we don't really feel good, and then we go shop some more. This cycle that I feel like a lot of these things are connected. And another thing that I feel like we do is we accumulate a lot of debt. Why are we accumulating a lot of debt? And it could be that we're accumulating a lot of debt in order to be competitive, because we want to look good, we want to have a nice house, we want to have a nice car, we want to have nice clothes. And then that kind of stress that we put on ourselves is detrimental to our health. So you see where I'm going with this? Then we have health issues, right? Then we have to have health care, and then we have to pay for that health care, which also then accumulates more costs, more debt, more stress, and then you go around and around and around in a circle. And sometimes what you need to do is hit that pause button, take a break. I'm not saying that you have to downsize or you have to live in a one-bedroom apartment with, 6 family members, nothing like that, but just really thinking about what makes you happy, not what society tells us. Because one thing America has on lock is advertisements, like commercials. We will advertise the heck out of something. I mean, I think we are one of the only 1 or 2 countries that allow advertising of pharmaceutical drugs. So you can literally see a drug on television and go into your doctor's office and say, hey, what's this drug that I saw for high blood pressure? I want to test that out. Like, you're telling the doctor what to prescribe you at that point. I don't know, it's just weird. Like, America has a lot of things that we allow that a lot of other countries don't allow, from even what is put into our food. A consumerism issue, again, there's a deeper issue there with a lot of people buying stuff because they're just not happy. And so it's funny because on the flip side of that, when I said what I think of Americans, I think of enthusiasm and optimism and this kind of like, energy for life. I do, on the surface of things, that is how we portray ourselves, but behind these closed doors, I don't think that's what's going on in a lot of these American households. But I think it starts with the fact that America is a very, I don't want to say it, but America is a bit shallow. It's a bit of a surface level country where we don't talk about really deep topics. Again, going back to that ability to have dialogue and openness and being able to debate. I love a good debate. So I think I have spewed enough of my thoughts onto you guys. I hope this kind of gave you guys some stuff to think about and also talk about. Let me know what you think, if you like this video, if you want to see more videos like this to hear me rambling on, let me know. Again, I apologize if I offended anyone, specifically Americans. I do love this country. It's not perfect. And yeah, until next time, you guys, I hope you're staying well, finding reasons to smile, and I will see you next time. Bye!